Hello everybody, it is your boy Nando Tech back at it with another video. In today's video, I put apart a $1,500 gaming PC with an Intel based CPU. So guys, if you haven't already, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification button so you always get notified whenever I post a new video. And guys, let's get right into it. So for the CPU, I decided to go with the Intel Core i9-9900K. This is a 8-core 16-thread gaming PC. I mean, not gaming PC, gaming CPU, and it's about $490. And its core clock is 3.6 gigahertz, and its boost clock is 5 gigahertz, which is really fast for CPU, which means you will be able to get even more frames if you overclock it to 5 gigahertz instead of keeping it at its core clock. And guys, this is a really good CPU for gaming, but not really for editing and streaming because it only has 8 cores and 16 threads, and it's literally almost $500 for that. Which, if I really wanted to go with a CPU that's not this, and probably go with the Ryzen 9 3900X or 3900 or 3950X. But this is a pretty good gaming CPU, and it's also a 9900K, which is like the best Intel CPU right now. And yeah, let's go for the CPU cooler, which is this Cooler Master Liquid ML240L RGB CPU cooler. I decided to go with this one because it is $56 and it is 240 millimeters, and it will cool our 9900K to about 50 or even 30 degrees Celsius in just at 0% load, which is pretty good for 9900K, and it supports all of these CPU sockets, and it has pretty good reviews. 4 stars of 92. So yeah, that's really good. And guys, next up for the motherboard, decided to go with this ASRock Z390M Pro 4 Micro ATX LGA 1151 because it is the cheapest motherboard that's compatible with this CPU, and it has all you will need for gaming. It does have like all of your USB 3.0s, has an HDMI. It has about 5 USB ports, and then like it's pretty good. And if you want to connect it with Ethernet, you can for more for less lag and less ping. And its memory max is 128 gigabytes. It's really good, and it is capable to hold all of these speeds. And for the RAM, guys, I decided to go with 32 gigs of RAM here of G-Skill Aegis 2x16, clocked at 3200 megahertz. And I decided to go with this memory because it is the cheapest 32 gigabyte kit of 2x16, which is really good, and it's also 3200 megahertz, and it's from G-Skill, and it is really good for the price of $110, and it is very, very cheap for 32 gigs of RAM. And guys, I forgot to say that the motherboard is $115. For the storage, as a boot drive, and to store a couple games in it, I decided to go with this Western Digital Green 1TB 2.5-inch solid state drive because it is 1TB, and it's one of the cheapest and most reliable SSDs for 1TB, and it is also pretty good. It's gonna be able to run Windows at really fast speeds. If you want to play any games or you want to load faster, then there's definitely the one for you. It's also $100, which is not that bad for such a good deal. And yeah, it's not M.2. It's only SATA, but that's fine because for 1TB and $100 is not you're not really losing anything. And for the hard drive, for the main storage of their games, it's gonna be the Seagate Barracuda Compute 2TB 70-200 internal hard drive because this is really cheap, basically for the price of $58, and it's 2TB. It's definitely we're gonna have some leftover space, and it is really cheap, $60 as I said, and it's 2TB, which is really good. And It's a must-have if you have a PC. And for the video card, I decided to go with the Asus GeForce RTX 2070 8GB DDR6 mini OC video card. Decided to go with this one because it is $420 and it is a 2070 RTX, which means if you want to play Minecraft, RTX is definitely the card for you. And his core clock, I believe, is 1410 megahertz, and his boost clock is 1680 megahertz, which is really good. And its effective memory clock is 1400, and it has two fans if you want to overclock it to 1680 megahertz, which is gonna be good for that. And it's also pretty small if you really didn't want to go with an ATX case, and you can definitely go for the micro ATX or even mini ATX, which you will just have to go with the N60H1, which is about $350, and it comes with a CPU cooler and and power supply. So for the case, set to go with this Corsair Spec Delta RGB ATX mid tower case because it is the cheapest Corsair case that has three fans, has three RGB fans included and a back fan, and you can also put a 240mm CPU cooler on top, and it's also $80. And this is actually my case that is for my custom PC, and it's really good so far, and it's pretty cheap for $80, and it's very reliable. And I can definitely say that if you really want this a 360 mil a really good case, this is definitely the one. But no one really seems to talk about it, but it's really good. And finally, for the power supply, I decided to go with this EVGA 600 watt 80 plus certified ATX power supply because it is $55, 600 watts, and it's 80 plus white, which is pretty good. And it's gonna cover all of our needs for wattage, because I think the watts are here about 350 watts. And yeah, it's pretty cheap for $55. It's a must-have if you want a really high wattage CPU, not CPU, but power supply. And yeah, guys, that's gonna be the end of the video. The estimated wattage is $414. I mean, not 14, not dollars. I mean watts. And its total price is $14.89, which means that you will not be spending an extra $11, which means that you can get another power supply, probably another case if you really wanted to, and it's gonna be good, and it's pretty cheap. It's basically a gaming, streaming, and video editing because of the RAM and the graphics card. And yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and this is it from me, guys. See you tomorrow.